is December 26, 2016. We're in Cusco, and joining us is Martin Taylor at the fireside in Cusco, the first one. And I hope we are going to have a nice discussion about why you're here in Cusco, what you're going to find here, and what brought you here. And I know it's a long story, so let's try to cut it up in little questions. Like, I know that you're here from September, so this is your 4th month now, and
5th month in South America.
5th month in South America. So what was your first experience in South America, actually?
My first experience was diving into a deep pool of things that were completely new and unknown. That was a journey to the jungle near Iquitos in Peru, on the Amazon, and to join an ayahuasca retreat. Ayahuasca is a hallucinogenic drug traditionally used in the Amazon jungle, and so that was that was scary. And it was intentional, I suppose, to start my journey in South America with something that was a jump over the edge. So it felt like I was. The idea of my journey was to go somewhere I'd not been before, so I could find something about myself I didn't know. And in diving into the jungle with no internet, no computers, no friends, no family, completely strange, was I suppose that was an intentional break, an intentional jump start.
And how many days were you in the jungle?
12 days in the jungle. Most of them almost alone, except with the shaman and the translator. The translator was my life. My companion. She spoke English and she knew ayahuasca and she knew, about my life or the kind of life I lived. So she was my connection to reality.
Did she also take ayahuasca?
Yes. Everybody. It was shared. The shaman and the translator. Everybody took ayahuasca together, and the shaman. I don't understand everything, so I don't know whether to say what happens, if it's real, what's real and what's not. But they take ayahuasca with the intention that they can help you. They can guide your visions, not to control them, but to help you stay away from really bad things, I think. To help you in a positive way and to keep away the darkness.
Did you have any visions in those 12 days?
I had a lot of visions, very diverse. Every time we did ayahuasca, it was different. There was an evolution of a feeling that things weren't completely out of control and completely scary. I did learn not to be so afraid eventually. But yes, the visions were very, very varied, very, and sometimes not just visions. The most intense experience was the night when I had the most intense physical reactions. I mostly have a very strong constitution, and I have a huge aversion to throwing up and things like that. So it mostly didn't happen for me, but one night it did. One night the ceremony, which always starts with the candle going out, it's very atmospheric. The beginning is the lights go, and usually for 3 hours. Then you're waiting for the things the experience to come on, and within 30 minutes it starts to happen, and the shipibo are singing, and it's very powerful, very intense. But one night it was sort of a dud. It was just, it was pleasant. Nothing went wrong. I didn't feel afraid. I didn't have any hallucinations. It was just chill evening. And then they help you back to your house. In your house, there's no light. Just a bed with a net to keep the mosquitoes out. And it's after I went back that everything started. Then the drug kicked in and came on, and I had intense, feelings of vomiting. And that physical purging brought with it an extreme vulnerability. And the rest of the night was like 5 hours, then all night until almost breakfast time. A combination of being out of control physically, and there was all kinds of things going on, but somebody was there. I don't know who it was. It wasn't somebody I recognized. It was a woman, maybe 50, 60 years old, but just like a school teacher figure in a tweed skirt kind of thing.
So you could actually see her?
Yeah.
Or was it more in your vision?
I was aware of her, but I knew what she was like, and I had no idea who she was. I'm not sure if she was. I was taking advantage of anything anybody would offer to protect me, and a friend back in America had offered to be there in my visions if I wanted her, so I asked her to be there. She suggested I also placate Pachamama, and so I did everything I touched every touchstone I could. And so I don't know if it was her or my mother or someone, but someone was there.
But you could draw her if I asked you.
I don't know if I could draw her face. I could draw the figure, the type of person she was. She was motherly, but a strong motherly character, there to reassure me and help me. That was the most intense night. It's like the experiences had been building up to that night, and that night for everybody, even the shaman the next day, they all wanted to rest. Everybody said, so maybe they were. Maybe they were.
Because when were you sleeping? Was that in the daytime?
No, normally you would sleep in that period. Like normally, at 8 o'clock after it's dark, you would meet out there. You would take the vile tasting ayahuasca and rinse your mouth out and spit it out. And then for 3 hours there'd be an intense experience, and by 11 o'clock everybody was coming down a little, and the candle went back on, the one candle in the room, and then you got to sleep. But this night it was different. It was like everything was pushed further out and longer and more intense.
And was it like the 5th night or something? Or
that was the 4th night of taking ayahuasca, which would be about the 5th night, because you would do it for 2 nights and then have a break, and then do it for 2 nights and have a break. So around the 5th night.
So it was a good experience, you would say?
I would say that, and all of it was good, but not pleasant. None of it was pleasant. The pleasant was the day off. But I did, like I say, after that night, the next day, before I heard from everybody that everybody had a hard time and it was an intense experience, I was ready to say I can't go back. That was too much.
You can't go back?
I can't do it again.
Oh.
Because
so
the next night was not a rest day. It was like after that night and not sleeping, we were going to do it again, and I was ready. In the morning, I was ready to say, I can't do it. But I summoned some courage, and then after talking and hearing that other people had had it, and they promised, we will help you, not that it's not as intense. So I said, okay.
So it was okay.
It was okay.
And so you came out of the jungle, and what was your first wish? Do you remember?
At first, not. Leaving was difficult. Arriving was difficult and frightening, and then you're on your own for 12 days, and it becomes home. It's like some kind of prisoner syndrome or kidnapped person syndrome. Then that's become normal, and going back to the city is a bit frightening.
And the city was Cusco?
No, the city was Iquitos. It's much more. The buzz of the city of Iquitos is more like angry insects. There are no cars there, or hardly any. They're all the what do you call the three-wheeled motorcycle things?
Tricycles.
They're I don't know what they're called, but they're a motorcycle which is. They've taken the back wheel off and they've added two wheels.
The mini taxis. I call them mini taxis.
Moto taxis.
Oh, motor taxis.
Yes, and they buzz like an insect, and there's thousands of them. No cars, so that provides like a music for the city, an angry buzzing. It's very busy. What did I want when I got back? I don't know. I was a bit. I had no plans anymore. My plans into South America were just to the end of that 12 days. So when I came back, it was a bit of a
new beginning.
A new beginning. A lot of tension because now I'm in South America and I'm not going to go home. It's not over. I have to decide what to do next. And I suppose that's what brought me to Cusco eventually. Is I just had to come up with a place to go, and I didn't know much about South America. I hadn't really planned this thing, so but I knew about Machu Picchu, and so I came here. I thought, okay, Machu Picchu, that's a destination, and somewhere it's on the list of one thing that I have to do in South America, and I also, I stuck in Iquitos. I didn't speak any Spanish. I realized I got to learn some Spanish. So, okay, I'll go to Cusco, and I'll get an apartment. I'll take some Spanish lessons, and I'll go to Machu Picchu.
And that's what you did.
That was what I did. And I did all of those things, but of course, that wasn't the essence of. That wasn't the essence of Cusco for me.
So what was the essence of Cusco for you?
The people I met, and I quickly realized that was what it was always going to be. That I just needed to meet people, and that was that. I've kind of evolved. A friend of mine is in Barranco. I talk to a lot. Has helped me just by talking, formulate some ideas about what's going on here, and it's about people. I think it's about love. So it's a kind of the journey is through the people that I connect with, is to learn about love and what it means to me.
Is it something you have to learn a lot about, or is there something that has always evaded you, or what is it about you and love?
It's something I haven't. I can't say I haven't had it. I mean, there's definitely been love in my life, but I don't think. Well, let's forget about the word love for a second. But
happiness.
Well, emotion. I've been out of touch with emotion. I haven't had access to a depth of emotion. I I haven't cried since I was 5 years old. I don't know if I cried before then, but I assume I did. Kids do, babies do. But that I remember, and with my father's corroborated it, I don't cry. I didn't cry when I was a little boy. I was always a stalwart. So that emotion, and I think other emotions of happiness and laughing and joy, I haven't had access to the full range of those. So, I can be sad, but I don't cry, and I can love, but maybe it's not as much as I could have.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I feel that's been a problem if I want to live my life to the full, and I do. So
it's feeling you're after.
Yes, feeling. Yeah, I want to feel, and I feel like I have to go through what someone might call a negative emotions. I have to cry. I have to go through a pain to get to the good stuff. Or maybe that is all. Maybe it's all good.
Feeling.
That's a gateway.
Yes.
I think that's the gateway.
And did Cusco help you to feel more?
The people here have in different ways. I don't feel like I'm not there. I'm not done. The journey's only. I think the journey's exponential. I mean, I'm 5 months in out of a year. The only limitation really is if I run out of money, I have to do something different a little bit. But I feel I'm not done. I'm not even close to done. But I think I'm making a lot of progress.
And were there certain places in Cusco where you could feel more, or was it not a question of place, but more the person or the experience that you had?
It's been experiences and people. Maybe I'm just not as in tune as some people are. People go places with history and feel things. I can't do that. For me, it's always people, memories of people, experiences of people. That's what it's always about.
And what are you doing differently now than you've been doing in your past, 60 years? Can you say that?
60 years.
Oh, sorry, 59.
Yeah, that's 17 days away. Being 60.
Oh, that's it. Okay. You're not there yet.
Just in case anybody's out there, I'm asking for good experiences for my 60th birthday.
Okay, that's good.
What's different? I think it's simple. I'm on my own. I keep doing simple things like getting an apartment and buying an electric kettle and things, and then I realize I've never done that before on my own, or for myself, only for myself. So just getting an apartment and simple life choices on my own. I've always been married or similar ever since I was 20 years old. And then, in addition to that, being open to everything. Like saying, I don't know if I'm saying it, I don't know what switch I turned on, but I'm wide open to anything. And somehow the world senses that and comes in. So strange experiences of ceremonies, obscure ceremonies, ayahuasca, wachuma, blue soap, sexual things, they just come, they just find me somehow.
So you feel like a magnet all of a sudden for these kind of experiences?
Channel, yeah. Channel.
So you're inside your own movie.
Yes, yeah.
Sounds a bit like that.
Yeah, it's like that.
Starring in your own movie, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I kind of have I have watchers. People are watching the movie. I have a cousin. Back in the south of England. Two cousins, brother and sister that I lost touch with 40 years ago. And they've recently come back into my life before I set out on this journey. And one of them, the guy, Phil, he's watching, and every now and then I get a little note, you get a little ping, a little comment on Facebook, so that I know he's watching every move. He's very interested, kind of rapt really with interest, and he's not the only one. Other friends are doing the same thing, so yeah, it's a bit like a movie. I'm not performing. It's only for me, but it's really quite heartwarming and comforting, I suppose, that people are watching.
And you told me that you feel like you receive a lot of gifts, right? That you can really be grateful for everything that comes your way.
Yes, yeah. It's a gift. They're a gift because because they're unbidden. Because I don't even. They're brand new. They're brand new, so I couldn't ask for them. So they're truly gifts. They're truly surprise gifts. Like birthdays and Christmases. People rarely completely surprise you, and it's rarely something that you really want. But these are things that are completely unexpected and rich and beautiful.
Well, sounds amazing. Must be a lot of people jealous of your quest.
I think there are. That was a surprise too. I've had a little bit of. Well, yeah, a lot of people are watching now, and even before I came to South America, and I was working up to it, going back to England and passing through Iceland, and then I went back to my home in Orcas Island to help coach the rowing club for a while. When I got back there, people told me that they were. Oh, what now? I then told people what I was going to do. That I was heading out either across Europe to Nepal, or later the idea was to South America. And nobody said it was crazy or nuts or like a bad idea because you're not working, you're not following the social norms. Everybody said it's great.
Go for it.
I'd love to do that.
Yes. Wow.
Everybody.
Well, thank you. That was great, actually.
Thank you.